What up, guys? Might be a little bit of a different video as well this time. The knee is still not doing too well, but I got the good news from the doctor, basically saying that all my muscles are still intact. Everything looks good with my muscles. There's a small contusion on my knee. You guys know what's happening, and that's causing a lot of swelling and making it super tight for me to move my knee. So that's what happened. I just hit the ground really hard, and guess where I hit, it just inflamed up really quickly, and it's not getting better. I've been icing it every single day, so it's gonna get there. Maybe another week or so, I probably start riding again, but maybe even a couple days if the swelling goes down a bit. But really, they said keep it moving. You know, get on the Peloton bike or do leg raises and get that muscle activated, because I think I've hit so hard. He said the muscles kind of went into like shock mode and doesn't want to work the way it should. He said just keep it moving and try to get it working, and that will help it get better quicker, hopefully. So, but for this video, I might do something where I review my Monster Energy video. So maybe I'll just go through, you know, how I felt on each clip, or the certain ones that took a lot out of me and what I went through to get them. So I'm going to review basically the last edit I just put out, the Varganator for Monster Energy. Just kind of tell you guys what I went through in my mind, my body, crashes, all that type of stuff. The stuff that, you know, no one knows about, the behind the scenes, and the stuff that scared me and that I went through. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. But start out with the beginning of the video. We did the crazy intro with all the green and all that crazy stuff. That was me, Haven, and Rizzy. Obviously, Rizzy's filming the video. We spent like 6 hours, all the way till 3 a.m., just setting lights up everywhere and making the park look crazy. And we had a bunch of different lights for Monster Energy, and that was cool. We ended up coming up with something sick that looks super cool. So hope you guys enjoyed that intro, with all the green lighting and the craziness. Going to the video, basically I started with on the Spocks, like the first clip of the video. This was like opening day, first day filming. I was like, you know what, I gotta start with something that doesn't completely kill me. So I went with the front flip over the Spocks, alley-oop fly Flair to Canadian 3. And I think that's a super sick combo, because the Canadian 3 is really hard to get after two gnarly tricks too. Front flip's a little bit more chill, but the alley-oop 5 Flair sometimes can get a little dicey. And then going straight into a Canadian 3 was super challenging. So I thought that clip was super sick to start with. Yeah, then I moved on to the 3 720 tricks. The 720 whip bar, 720 double whip, and the 720 bar whip. And all those that was an insane night. I had all the boys there. We were all going crazy, freaking out, because I just stomped out 3 tricks I basically never done on a box jump, back to back to back, and all the boys were like shocked. I was blown away. I couldn't even imagine, you know, watching someone else do that. So I was like basically in dreamland right there. But yeah, I ended up dropping in, and I was like, screw it. Did the 7 whip bar, probably third go. I did 2 7 whips, and then was super hyped. I was like, you know what, screw it, let's do the 7 double whip, and I landed that right away. And shout out to the people that have already done that, like Wallride, Kieran, a bunch of other dudes. And then the third one was the 720 bar whip, and really no one does that one. The only time I did it was on my airbag, and I got absolutely worked. And that's a 20-foot gap, so to come to a smaller jump, I basically did like 3 or 4 into the pit and then sent it straight to wood. And yeah, it worked flawlessly. That was the beginning, the first day really, of just sending, and then it was quite gnarly of a day. And then we went over to, I think the next trick in line for that was I wanted to really get out, was the switch double flare. And that one's gnarly as hell, because I tried it in Japan in the concrete, and I sent it as hard as I could there, and like I did not want to because it's concrete, but I was like, you know what, I got this. I've been doing it in the pit for like 2.5 years. I'm gonna land this. And I ended up looping out on the first one straight to my back, hurt like hell. Second one, did the same thing, and then my wheel kind of felt funky. And then the third one, I came up and my wheel felt like it was moving like that. And I thought I just had, no PSI in my tube. And I blew up again. And it happened to be that my rim actually separated. And so my rim was like, basically like, not like completely apart, but it was like fully cracked so that my rim was actually moving and my tube somehow didn't pop. And it was the carbon rims, which kind of super brittle and they just kind of fall apart. But yeah, that was insane. So I had to come back and get redemption on that one and stomp it out and just get that weight off my shoulders, because that trick was gnarly. Shout out to, I think it was Sam Gibble that did it in Australia. He sent it on Resi, he got it, and I was like, shit, like I need to be the first one to land this to wood or concrete, and that's why I sent it at X Games. But to bring it back and send it here, that was probably one of the gnarliest tricks in the video, and one of the ones I'm most hyped about, because I was super scared. Took me 3 goes. First 2 goes I blew up and almost gave up, and then Rizzy and all the boys kind of like were like amping me up, getting me going and shit, and I was like, fuck, I guess I'm getting after this. And I sent it again and rolled away almost cleaner than my normal double flare, which was sick. So the next one was I think I got a bar, yeah, it was on the 9-foot quarter. I sent bar whip bar air. I seen Logan do that way back at the kitchen, and maybe a couple other people have done that, but I really wanted to get that trick done because I did whip bar in my old videos. I did triple whip on that quarter, so I was like, I need to get a staple bar whip combo on that quarter. So I ended up going with that, and it took me like 5 or 6 goes. When I threw it, it felt so good. I landed absolutely perfect. Cruised away. All the boys went fucking crazy, and yeah, I was hyped on doing that one. And like I said, it took me a bit, but I could have done it first try. It was one of those ones where I did it absolutely perfect, bitched out, and then every other try from there on until the one I landed were garbage. And then I got another good one and just ended up throwing it. So that was sick. And then the next 2 tricks in the video were the 3 triple whip over the step up and the 3 double whip bar up the step up. Those 2 tricks were super sick. I've been wanting to do that for a while now. So I think everyone, those kind of just like talk for themselves. Like big step up, big gap, kind of burly. It's got probably an 8-foot gap in between it, and if you don't make the gap, it could be really bad. So I was hyped to get those done, and yeah, then I moved on. I actually came back for the 3 triple whip later on. I kept bugging Rizzy. I'm like, you think I need it? You think I need it? He's like, no. Then I ended up coming back to it because like I thought having the 3 double whip bar and then the 3 triple whip back to back would look so sick with different angles. It ended up looking awesome. So after that, I did the wall whip into the bowl, super big gap, just like a sick filler clip. And then 1080 over the spine, trick I've been wanting to do for a while. I've seen a lot of other dudes do it on wood and resi, so to stomp it out in the spine, why not? Solid spin combo on a spine, which not a lot of people do, so thought it was sick for the video. And then after that, Flair whip the transfer. So that was sick. I actually had to put, what they did way back is they had the spine and the step up and they both had coping, but they took the coping off the step up. So I have to drill in a coping to give me more pop because it's so mellow to get that Flair whip over it. I originally wanted to do a couple other tricks over it, but I couldn't get the snap. I kept peg chinking or casing going over it. So, and if anyone's watched my old videos, I did do a Flair bar over it. So I was like, might as well up it and do the Flair whip. And then after that, double flip. So anyone that thinks like I just pull up and send these tricks, like the double flip, I thought I do them over box jumps, but to do it on a spine that I don't usually, do any kind of double flip over on a steep lip like that. In my mind, I kept thinking, I'm just gonna like kind of, my legs are gonna give out on the lip or something like that, and I'm gonna just die. So it's like, and I remember being like, okay, Rizzy, I'm ready. I'm gonna send it right now. and it took him like 35-40 minutes to set up, and I was like getting so eager to the point where I was like almost not down to do it anymore, just because like it's just a send, right? So it's a gnarly send, but as soon as he set up, I ended up dropping in and just sending it right away, and I landed I think a little back heavy on the first one, so I went again and then ended up stomping it super clean on the second one, and I was absolutely hyped on that. That was so sick. Shout out to Andy Buckworth and all those dudes that send tight doubles. Like it's just stupid to do that stuff. Like, bar into ice on the sub to bar out. That shit was hard too. It took a while, but I ended up getting that one done, and I think I snapped like 3 axles on the way into that one, and but got that done. Obviously, gnarly tech clip. Always got to have tech clips in your videos, and but that one, it took a while. I went through a lot of battling with that one, just trying over and over to get the right ice pit to throw a bar out. The amount of ones I've landed to ice and then I couldn't bar out because either my hub guard would hook the box and I'd do a weird pop out, or I'd be leaning the other way and I'd fall over the sub box. So it was probably like a couple hours of trying until I got the perfect one that just worked super well. I actually brought my own sub box for that one and completely blew it out. I landed so hard so many times, the whole top sheet of the plywood just had holes all the way across it. Another one I'm hyped about, 450 to wall. One I've wanted to do for probably like 6-7 years now. So that one, it just an absolute send. Just literally trying to basically 360 into a wall. I'd say more of a 3 than a 450, but just like sending yourself into a wall, which actually felt sick, but probably one of the gnarlier ones in the video. Just because you don't know what's going to happen. If you don't spin hard enough, you're hitting the wall with your front wheel first. If you spin too much, you're like looping out on the wall. So there's a lot of gnarly things that could happen. That one worked perfect. 2-sab ice to hard, basically hard 1 bar out. And yeah, that one took a second. I wanted to do this trick and I didn't know how to 2-sab over ice. So I just learned how to 2-sab over ice into that trick. And I'm still not that good at that trick. I don't like 2-sab over ices because they're gnarly and I have missed my peg before and it sucks. But yeah, I worked my ass off for that trick just because I kept doing a 2-sab over ice perfect. And I'd go to pull out, do the 1 bar, and I kept not traveling far enough out, or I'd land so hard on the landing, my feet would blow off. So it took a second until I got the right one, but I was so hyped when I got that right one because it's a cool tech clip. If you could do a tech clip on a feature that's like kind of a little bit different, it hypes me up. That's what I like watching, not just like a simple quarter tech clip, like a hitching post with a weird transfer of some sort. I think that's so sick. And the next one was just Flair ice foot whip. Yeah, that shit was hard too. That took a second. Originally I wasn't even planning on doing that, but I wanted to put a Flair ice in the video, and I thought, why not do a Flair ice foot whip? Because if anyone's done an ice foot whip, they can tell it's pretty hard to do a nice foot whip after an ice pick. So if you add a Flair into it and on a sub box, it definitely adds the level of gnarliness to it and makes it pretty sick, I think. And then invert, steezy invert for all the invert boys out there. And then gap double whip, big gnarly one. One of my first edits, I did whip bar into it, so I had to come back to it and do a big double whip. It's a super small quarter pipe, 4-foot quarter pipe, so to come out going that fast feels really awkward, but it ended up working, and I stomped it out. This one I'm really hyped about because I've always watched other people try it, and I've seen people do it to foam and resi and stuff like that. Brock Horneman did it in one of his edits, the Flair bar to tail whip, which I think is so sick, and I've wanted to do that one for a while, but I just never had the balls to really try it. But in this video I was like, what, screw it, today's the day. And also all the days I was filming was like 5 degrees Celsius to 10 degrees, so it's like super cold in Wallride, and so my warm-up was basically doing like 3 or 4 Flair bars and then getting just trying it and seeing if it would work, because I couldn't really have a session because I was filming all after hours, but it worked. I landed it first go, and went the wrong way straight into the wall at the bottom. And then I came back and slid out on a couple of them, and then ended up stomping one, I think, fourth or fifth go. But that one I was so hyped about. I got, all the boys love that one. I think a lot of people said it's their favorite trick from the video. And I think it looks so sick too. So, hope you guys like that Flair bar whip. And then got here 540 Flair bar. So I've been doing 9 bars for years, and I've always wanted to do 5 Flair bar. So I tried that one. I actually did it first go, and I was like, do I take it or not? Because I ice chinked out of it. But I'm like, being a peg dude, if you can ice chink out of something, it's like way cooler. So I was like, you know what? I did the world's first 5 Flair bar ice chink, so I'll take it. Why not, right? This one was sick too. Alley-oop, bar, wall, switch down whip. So that one, I did bar wall whip out in my edit. I think it was like 7 years ago. So I was like, I gotta up that. A lot of the tricks I did were upping other tricks I did, if not, new combos that people haven't done. So, and that one was sick because like doing a switch downy out was super scary because I'm facing a weird angle. It's off the wall with one wheel. Brake slip, I die. But I ended up stomping that one right away after like 16 bitch goes, and finally kicked the down whip, and it worked perfectly. So just stoked to put an edit out for you guys that you guys like and enjoy. And then the switch Flair double down whip. That trick, I've been doing it to foam for like 3 years, and I could never learn how to fully rotate 180 in the trick because I would always go straight back instead of trying to actually rotate. And that sucked because when I tried learning how to switch Flair normal whip, I kept doing almost like a flip whip to fakie at my house, just blowing up over and over and over again. So I never ended up really doing that too much. And then when I added another whip into foam, it actually helped me go a little bit more. So I was like, you know what? Might as well try it and just see what happens. First go, it was super scary to try too. I did not feel like trying it, but I knew it would work, so I ended up just going for it. But I did switch Flair, double down whip, landed perfect, and then as soon as I got to the bottom of where the wood hits the concrete, my foot blew off, and I was like, no. And so I was like, obviously I have to go back and try it again. So I tried it again, landed straight 90 and blew up. So I went back up, tried it again, landed straight 90, under rotated, and bent my profile crank right into my frame. So I was like, my crank was locked. I couldn't move it up or down. So I ended up going back, throwing a couple spacers in, smashing the crank back on, and went back. And then I think I stomped it out that try. But so those are some of the things you got to do when you're trying a new trick. If you break your bike, you fix it quick and you keep going. It doesn't matter how your bike feels. You just want to get that trick done, right? But especially when you're filming a video, I feel like you care about your bike a little less and you just want to get that trick done, right? Which is sick. When I landed that, I was very hyped because it felt so good. That was such a weird, cool feeling trick that I was really freaking stoked on. 9-bar tuck. If you guys watch Japan X Games, another haunting trick that's been haunting me, sitting on my shoulders. And I tried that 5 times at Japan, almost pulled it the one time. It was just right there, and I couldn't get it, and that sucked because I really wanted that trick, and it looked so sick too from behind the quarter. But I tried it, I couldn't get it, so I moved on and did it for my video out of the event. And I tried it on the 9-foot quarter like 6 or 7 times, blew up every time, and I said, you know what, I need a better setup for this, and that's why I ended up making that quarter to bank, just so I could really just have time to actually bar and open my hands up instead of trying to hustle it on a smaller quarter. And it worked flawlessly. Typical, I landed, the tire exploded through my bike. It was so sick. Everyone went crazy. All the boys were hyped. Shout out to all the boys that stuck around for all those sessions and hyped me up and got me going, because a lot of those tricks, I want to do them, but they're so scary. So it's it's nice. Obviously, you have that side of yourself that you want to be alone maybe and not have people watching it, but then there's sometimes you do want to have your homies there cheering you on hyping you up, because then it's like, okay, like I'm gonna land this, and you know, I'm gonna land it for them as well, for you, for myself, and for like them. They're here to watch me. They took that time out to stay late and, you know, chill and help out with the video. So very hyped about that. Shout out to those boys. To the Banga. This is like Mike Varga podcast TV or some shit. I'm like some podcast dude now, apparently. Like I said, knees still hurt, so this is all I got for you guys. I need to push out content for you guys, right? And the one and only 1260 bar spin. And the biggest one that was sitting on my shoulders from X Games 2 years ago. Tried it in that bowl on that 11-foot oververt quarter. Ended up landing backwards in a 1080 one time and blowing up. Next one I landed a little bit sideways. My front wheel exploded and I hit the ground, and that sucked because I was super close to landing it. But yeah, that was sick. It ended up, first try I did it, slid out. Second try I went in and stomped it out, and that was it. That's all I wanted to do. I was hoping I got it first try because I did not want to do it, because the biggest fear in my head is that I've done it in one of my edits, the to be continued at the end of the edit, the all or nothing edit I think it was, but I landed nosy and broke my shoulder, so during my attempt of a 1260, and that's in my mind. I kept just thinking, that's going to happen, that's going to happen, that's going to happen. I'm going to land nosy, and I'm going to hit my shoulder, and I'm going to blow up and be hurt and not be able to make it to a bunch of events and this and that. And this is also being filmed two or 3 days prior to me leaving to Worlds for BMX Worlds in Dubai. So that even had my heart racing even more, because I already had a trip planned with a bunch of, with Cycling Canada and everything, but that stressed me out. And the whole edit kind of led up to the 12 bar. Like from the start of it, it was like every time I'd film with Rizzy, he was like, "Is tonight the night?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man." I'm like, "It's just such a gnarly trick. I don't know if I want to do it. You know, I don't know how I feel. I don't want to get hurt, this and that." And then it got to a point where I was like, I feel like I need a setup. I feel like I need to build the setup for this trick instead of just trying it, you know, and blowing up on something and getting hurt. Let's try to make it as safe as possible and do this trick on a ramp that I could potentially land it and not have my wheels explode, and also land it and or slide out and not get really hurt, right? And so that's where the quarter that was sticking a little bit more out of this quedge helped me spin it and land and not, you know, die. I had that extra time to get my front wheel around. Because the worst, especially when you're throwing a bar, it slows down the spin. So if I did a 10 bar and say missed my hand and landed nosy, that wouldn't be good. So the whole edit kind of led up to that, and I was stressed about this trick the entire video. But to get that done and be like, it's off the chest, was probably the best thing I've ever felt in years. You know, it's different than an event when I win a medal or whatever, or win a certain event or do good. It's like, or I'm going in to win money and, you know, get to work and land this thing. I'm basically just out there filming a video for the community, for the BMX community, for the kids, for the BMXers, to inspire them to, you know, go out and ride their bike. When I was young, I was inspired by guys like Scotty Kramer, guys like Mark Webb, Harry Main, you know, Alex Colborn, you know, a lot of dudes that, you know, Logan, Kyle, all, like, so many dudes that, you know, there's almost too many, man. There's Mad Dog, all of them, right? But the ones that dedicated a lot of time towards, you know, their edits were the ones that I was locked in on, right? And, you know, those are the ones that made me want to go out and learn those tricks and try new things. So to put an edit out like that for the public is probably the sickest thing I could do, and the most hype thing I could do for myself and for my riding, right? But yeah, it's definitely different doing it for yourself, like a gnarly trick like that. You know, I'm not winning anything. There's no money on top of it. It's just for you guys, really, and for myself type of feeling. And it's something that, you know, I'll be, you know, for the rest of my life, I'll be super stoked on that and hyped that I was, you know, one of the first guys to do a 12, you know, the first guy to do a 1260 and the first guy to do a 1260 bar. hopefully that stays in history like that. But that's my whole video, basically explained. I try to explain everything and, you know, show you, you know, things I dealt with, things I didn't, things that stressed me out, all that stuff, and kind of just like going through the list, going through the tricks in the video, and, you know, but hope you enjoyed the video. You know, like and subscribe, and get on your bike and go ride it. And I hope this video has made you guys want to learn some of those tricks, or just get up and go ride your bike, because that's the whole reason I made it, right? And I'll be working on the next one, Varganator 2. So I'll be working on that one this year, hopefully to come out around the same time. And yeah, appreciate the watch, and you know, have some fun on your bike. Peace out, guys.